Hey guys, Scientist here. Apologies in advance for the shitty ass editing. I don't know how to edit, so I'm just gonna use OBS and go through my scenes because I have no idea how to use CapCut. So, um, let's dive into the tutorial. Uh, Huzzah. Oh yeah, wallpaper. So yeah, here we have our doll. At first sight, this might seem extremely overwhelming and even bewildering at times. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't write a script for this, so I'm just going kind of based off of my knowledge. I'm also congested, so bear with me here. As you can see, I have my song Worm Step. It sounds something like this. You get the idea. Anyway, there's a lot you can do with this DAW. In here, you have where you place all of your notes. So if I want, I can like zoom out so I can see it all. Or I can zoom in so I can only have like one octave. I think this goes up to, well, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck, I lost count. What comes after 5? I don't know. I think it probably goes up to like 8. You can have probably up to 50 channels, I think. I think the most I've ever used is about 25, maybe 30. In my song here, Idea, I have about, plus the drum channels down here, which I guess is 22. But yeah, I guess that's enough about that. Let's talk about some of, because, well, I don't even know where to start. There's so much here. This is your instrument settings. Your instrument settings are basically, obviously, how everything sounds. So if I isolate this channel by pressing S, I'm only going to hear the melody. As you can see here, I have multiple instruments set up to make it sound like that. Without some of them, they will sound like this. Hold on. Actually, you know what? Let me just do this, and then it doesn't sound as good. So I had to add the extra goodies. And I have it set up to make it do reoccurring channels, or like switch the instruments every channel. So like you can have 3, 5, and 6 on this one, 2 and 4 on this one, 2 and 5 on this one. And you can add as many as you'd like. At least I think so. I haven't really ever had to use that many. I've only ever used like 6 at a time. And I actually have the bass isolated from it, so I can just play the bass. And and to get the bass isolated from that, I just like took this channel, held shift and used the arrow keys, selected this, control copy that, went down here, added channel below, and then pasted that into here. And as you can see, we have the bass now. Obviously, I had to make some minor modifications because we have a lot here. And so I just kind of got rid of that upper octave. We have FM synthesis in here, like fully working 4-channel FM synthesis. There's also 6-channel FM synthesis. Or, operator, not channel, fuck. I don't know how to use FM, like, 6-op. That is for y'all to figure out. I used 4-op, but because I got my new DX7 recently, well, not new old stock, or whatever the hell it's called, I'm working on it, so I'm gonna figure that out eventually. You got harmonics here. Harmonics is kind of similar to FM. I guess I don't really have to zoom in. I just press the plus button. You have your harmonics instrument editor. So, like with the first bar up, I guess it just sounds like a sine wave. If you can't hear that, your speakers are crappy. So, yeah. But the harmonics, basically what they do, you go here. It's basically just like sine wave. It's actually basically the FM synthesis. That's kind of all it is. I'm not even gonna lie, that kind of sounds cool. Like, just totally unironically. Then I have some of my effects channels, like this guy. I just can't get over that freaking noise, dude. And then it was this one that really got me the first time. It gets me every freaking time because it's just a wah. It sounds like Wario jumping off a cliff. And again, I'm using multiple instruments to control what they sound like. They each do something different. Now, obviously we have our... This was supposed to be an FM synthesis channel, so I'm going to just Control-Z that until... Yep, there we go. Now, if you don't know how FM synthesis works, I would recommend looking up a video on how that works, because going through the entirety of how FM synthesis works would be me going in depth about it for about 4 hours or so. So, I would recommend looking up some short tutorial or some explanation on Google or something to kind of get you caught up. Now, you got your melody channels down here. Obviously, it's a melody, so you can do whatever you please with that. And now you got your drum channels. FM synthesis can be also, like, heavily worked with to make it sound like drums. So, like, this one here, I've got it hooked up to basically what sounds like a kick drum. And now I actually added a second channel, like, basically the same thing, but it's a reverse kick drum. So when you play this channel, it makes like a reverse kick noise, and it sounds pretty cool. I don't actually remember what this channel was. Oh my god, that is really loud. I hated that. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know why I have that channel, and this is a good time for me to show you how to delete or insert channels. So first of all, you're gonna want to go to these like little numbers on the side here. You're gonna left click, not right click. You're gonna left click on the number. You can either insert channel below or delete the channel. And in this case, we're going to delete it because no one freaking cares about the channel. This is our... It's like our second melody channel, I guess, or sub-melody. And this is our hi-hat. And now I'm not only going to be talking about FM synthesis, we're also going to be talking about chip and noise. Now, in Jukebox here, there are tons of presets you can use. Some of the presets, actually only a couple of them, but some of them I've created myself. I don't know if they're being implemented yet because updating this website takes ages. And when I mean ages, I mean literal months. So it's possible that mine just haven't been added yet. And that's completely fine. It'll probably take a while. Because it's I think almost maybe a 1 or 2 developer process. As in, there's only 2 people in the world working on this at the moment. And probably not even at the moment. They're probably taking a break, because this obviously takes a long time to make and update. But you can see all of these community-made presets, and if you want to submit your own presets that you've made, you can... Actually, let me just, first of all, show the description. I'm going to scroll down here. You can see that there's a Jukebox preset submission form. You go to that Google form, submit your preset, and make sure you submit it as a. Oh, obviously, just follow the instructions on there. I'm not really going to go in depth. You just like submit your .json file, I think. Or no, not a JSON file. You submit like a tiny URL, because inside of Jukebox, believe it or not, there is a built-in tiny URL shortener. Because, believe it or not, the song data for your song when you're using Jukebox is all stored in the URL. So let's say I copy and paste this link into a notepad document of some kind. We're not going to worry about this because I have no idea. You can see how big that is. I think the biggest song I've ever made, I pasted into a Google Docs and it happened to be 24 pages long. You don't have to make songs as big as I do. I just do that because I'm, like, I hate myself. Yep. Alright, you got the whole gist of it. Now, we're going to move on to our drum channels. This, obviously, is our drum channels. You can basically do everything that you can do with the noise channels and, like, melody channels here. It can do everything that it can do, but it's based on, like, drums, and some of the pitches aren't the same. That's why every time I make drums for my music, I just use melody channels, because I can custom make my drums and don't have to worry about the limitations for the this crap. And now you got modulation channels. Modulation channels is a really in-depth topic, so you're going to want to strap your seatbelts on. That doesn't sound right. Okay. Basically, your modulation channels, they control how your pitch channels or noise channels work. So say, well, actually, I think this isn't really a good song to do this with. I'm going to show one of my unreleased songs that I haven't posted yet. Don't worry about the blinding light. This is very bright. I don't like it either. So, this is one of my unreleased songs. I have not posted this yet. I have not shown anyone else this yet. This has only been my viewing. So, basically, these are your modulation channels. I have my modulator 1 set for the channel 1, or otherwise called pitch 1, and the setting is set for noise, or note filter, and that is this setting right here. So the noise filter is set for .1x, or it can also be set for 1y, but it doesn't do that much if it was set for 1y. And first of all, we're gonna test. Actually, I'm gonna turn off the description because it's bugging the hell out of me. You can see if we turn off the modulator channel. Actually, we're just gonna isolate this channel first, and we're gonna mute the modulator channel. This is what it sounds like without the modulation. Well, I guess I muted one modulation channel. There's a second one down here that's just for volume as well. But now you're going to see what happens when I turn on the noise filter, or when I turn on the modulation. Buddy, you are not ready. Just listen to how glorpy this bass line sounds. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? I'm just going to show this part real quick because it's amazing sounding. And yeah, you see how much better it sounds with modulation. That's what adds all the effect. That's what adds the personality of your song. And obviously, here we have the bass line. It's just the isolated bass of that channel. And then you got your super saw, which is just going to be our melody. Your kick drum. Your hi-hat, which sounds a little bit loud in my opinion, but I can't turn it down anymore. I guess I could use modulation to turn it down, but I'm lazy, and I'm not going to do that right now because I'm trying to make a video about how to make music using Ultrabox. Jukebox. Ultrabox is another website, very similar. Jukebox is a variation of Slarmoosbox, which is a variation of Ultrabox. Personally, I use Jukebox because it is the best. Some people can tell me otherwise, but I'm not going to listen to them. So we're going to continue onwards. This is our apparently nothing. So we're going to delete the channel. And now we have some effects that I've added. We got a little squeaky weasel over here. I don't know why I made this sound in this song, but I did. It sounds like someone's turning a faucet handle. And I guess right now, we're going to listen to the full song. And then we're going to get into samples. Okay, that actually kind of brings us to a smoother transition for samples. Yes, you've heard me correctly. Even though there are no plugins and no really outside, like no available options to do like customization and things outside of the program itself, you can import samples. Now, importing samples is a bit of a process. If you already have your .wav file or .mp3 file, you're good to go, because it's a playable audio file that can be played with inside of the browser. Now, if you're wanting to import samples, what you're going to want to do is go to filegarden.com. That is how you're going to import all of your samples. Now, if my website can load, you're going to see how this is going to work. We're going to visit the garden, and if it says for you to create an account, you're obviously going to want to create an account. As you can see, I haven't logged in yet. Can you please log in, please? Thank you. Sorry about all that. Anyway. Again, my website is not loading. So I'm going to look at you until... Okay, it works. Why does this never work? So, here you can see I've got tons of files. I don't just use it for, like, I don't know what I just... Holy... One moment. Hello? Yeah? Okay. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, got it. See ya. Oh. Yeah, just the usual. Alright. Bye. apologies for that, everyone. Someone had called me. We do not need to worry about who it was. Anyway, you can see we've got tons of audio files in here as I've imported my handle, or my tag.
Scientist Productions.
Scientist Productions. That's me. Holy crap, I'm a scientist! Yes, that is me. I don't know why I said that. But basically what you do, you copy your URL, and now I've already imported my sample. If I can actually find... What the... Oh, it's right here. I've already imported my handle, and I made a different one. This is not the same one you just heard. This is what it sounds like. That's the one that I made. You're going to go to Add Custom Samples. And as you can see, that gives you instructions on how to do it. So if you get lost, look at the instructions. Don't go to my video because I'm useless. You're going to go to Add Sample, copy the link, or actually paste the link rather. Press OK. You're going to go, I guess for me, I'm just going to make a new channel. Custom Sample Presets. And as you can see, that is the new sample that we just added.
Scientist Production.
And we can just drag that to make it continue.
Scientist Productions.
And as you can see, it's going to loop. You're going to go to Loop Controls. You're going to play loop once. And you can even crop it here.
Scientist Production.
You can make it start from a different pot.
Scientist Productions.
And yeah, that's kind of just the whole gist of looping. Now, we're going to move on to exporting songs. Exporting songs is pretty simple. You go to File, Export Song, and boom, you can export your songs. But if you want to export your song as a certain like file type, file format, you can basically do that. Yes, you can do that, I guess. But you go to Export Song, and if you want to save your project like locally on your computer instead of like bookmarking it, because sometimes bookmarking it can corrupt your song. Actually, sometimes saving it as a project on your computer can also corrupt your song if it's large enough. Yeah! Okay! Alright! Apologies, my sister just left the house. She had to announce it, apparently. Anyway, you export it as a .json file if you want to export the project. Yeah. You know, I'm actually not totally sure what third option is. Okay, yeah, it's actually nothing. It's just a joke. Anyway, you can export as .wav, MP3, Opus, OGG. You can export as MIDI as well. However, there's a huge disclaimer with MIDI. If you export it as a .MIDI file, every time a page, well, I'm just going to call the instrument editor a page. Every time a page breaks or goes on to the next one, if you have notes that continue on, like that, and you can tell if they're continuing, if you see that little black arrow there, so you can see it continues on to the next bar. It will not continue if you export it as a .MIDI file. So just be wary of that. You might need to make changes if you do decide to edit and export it as a MIDI file. I guess in general, that is kind of all I've got to teach you about. Oh, I guess there's a couple other things. You've got your unison, and you've got your envelopes. And obviously you got your effects too. Yeah, you can just add those effects. You can figure that out. Unison. Unison is just like a secondary, or I guess in a way, tertiary effect. Similar to what these do, except these are just kind of like preset, so you don't have to try and make your own. An envelope basically adds, like say you wanted to add, like a decay of some kind. So let's, you know what, we're gonna do this. Can you hear that? Sounds like that. If I wanted to add a decay to the volume, you can see I have decay there. We're gonna go to the drop down menu right there, and you can change how the decay sounds. You can see it kind of works. Well, let's speed up the decay a little bit. Let's go up to like 9x. Like, that sounds kind of cool. I'm not actually going to use it in the song because that's not how it's supposed to work. But you can see, you can do a lot with that. Twang kind of does the same thing, except it has the note hold on for longer. Note size, actually, the way you can, like, change note volume, if you want to add, like, a note there. Sorry, someone texted me. If you want to add, like, note volume, you basically go drag, once you placed your note, drag up or down to change the volume. And if you want to change, like, the decay on a note to, like, make it, like, go down, kind of, you just kind of do this. You drag the end of the note or the beginning of the note, depending on where you want it. You can actually drag the middle of the note as well to do that. Make kind of like a... And once you get good enough, you can even make sound effects like I'm doing here. Or something like a whistle. Or even... I tried to make screaming noises, but it doesn't ever really work. This is as far as I've gotten. But that's all I've got to teach you. I guess all I've got to say now is go out there, make music, have fun while you're doing it, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.